So we're going to do a joint birthday party. So that should be fun. Hello, 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 TCC Raid. Hello, Crafty. How was your paper crafting? I was lurking and popping in and out. There is going to be so many things. Thank you for the check-in, Anne. I've just got things paused while I scroll through and see if there's anything else. Oh, I didn't make coffee. I didn't make coffee. I will have to get back to you on that caffeine boost. Hello, hello. Thank you for the check-in, Grim. Oh. Rosie, you're welcoming in the Raiders as a Raider. Thank you very much, everyone. How was your portion of the stream, Crafty Rhea? Did you have fun? Hi, neighbor Giggy. How are you? Welcome, welcome in, everybody. Hi, Tina. Welcome in. So, if you guys haven't met me, I am Quilted Hearts. I am a variety crafter. I specialize really in making kids' toys. I do a lot of cross-stitching, a lot of sewing. I knit. I've been meaning to do some crochet. That might be on the list come after April. So today, as part of our makey, yes, I saw you earlier, Cub, were doing some too. So I've got two little toddler things here. I've got this t-shirt that's a little stained and starting to get a little too short for my guy, as well as this little sweater. So we're going to cut it up to make some little long dogs. Because the other thing my toddler is obsessed with is Bluey. And in Bluey, there is a thing about trying to find long dogs hidden in the episodes. So we're going to cut up some shirts and try and make some little long dog. So first thing, when reusing a t-shirt, for me, is cutting it open to make it a flat piece of fabric. So these are things I legitimately have pulled out of my son's closet that he is no longer fits and is no longer wearing. No problem, Grim. Thank you very much for popping in and coming to say hello. Yeah, Enrique, your kids love Bluey as well? Oh yeah, it is an epidemic of loving. Alright, let's just cut through here too, I think. Just gonna... Muffin is your favorite? Wow. That's a mood. No, I definitely think Bingo is the winner in this household. It is remarkable how many good kids media actually comes out of Australia. Because, you know, you've also got the Wiggles. Okay. So, this beige is going to be my accent fabric. So I am planning on using it on the sides of the face and the inside of the belly. Let's use the back for these long pieces, because there's a big stain in the middle of that one that I want to try and avoid. Oh my god, was Bananas and Pajamas was Australian too? And I loved that show. I need to do two mirrored. So let's just fold in half and do it that way. Muffin's just a lot. But it is definitely a running joke that everyone thinks and hopes they're raising a bingo, but they're actually raising a muffin. Bananas in pajamas. Oh god, that's gonna be stuck in my head now. How dare you? Now, I could be doing this way more space efficiency if I was planning to make more than one, but I'm not. So we're just going with it. Yeah, sorry, not sorry. I was trying to introduce my son to some of the cartoons that like I watched as a kid. And one of those, like, we were watching like Mr. Dress Up the other day. That was really fun. That's the Canadian version of Mr. Rogers. Then there was also, I absolutely hate putting notches on things. Just makes for awkward cutting. Where's my box of scraps? There we go. We also watched Big Comfy Couch. Okay. Talking about really old kid shows. There is a kid show that lives in my brain that I cannot find, and everyone thinks I'm insane. And like the worst part is I really can't describe much of it about it. It was like Reading Village or something like that. Like it's not the name, but like that's what the theme was. Like the problem is I can't explain it whatsoever to be able to help someone find it. It wasn't Reading Rainbow, but it was in a similar vein to Reading Rainbow. Like that's the problem is I really can't explain it. But I remember it having a really iconic kind of theme song to it. Now it's likely that this was Canadian. What am I doing? I'm getting all tangled. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Why did I get tangled? Okay, what did I do here? Something went wrong. Something went very wrong. Okay, let's get rid of some of this excess, because things are going wrong. This is when you get violent with the fabric. When things are going wrong. Was it Between the Lions? If not, that doesn't sound familiar. Hi, Thunder Dragons. Thank you very much for follow, and thank you for all the other people who followed while the raid was coming in. I'm sure I've missed most of you. In fact, let's take a quick look back while we're here. We got Frieden and Friends, thank you. Grim Reaper, Mama YC, Crafteria, and Thunder of Dragons. Oh my god. I don't know how many times I think I'm following someone, and I'm not. Okay, so that is the bellies. We have two bellies. We need to do two mirrored face pieces. Okay, so where's that stain? There. We've got this kind of big stain right down the middle that was probably like blueberries. Yeah, I think I can fold it in half and still miss them both. I have to look at what Between the Lions was. But that doesn't sound familiar. But yeah, it was something to do with it being like a village, and they acted out all these different kids' books in the village, and like I am insane. I can't find it for the life of me. Okay, do I have yes? Just making sure I got through both layers of the fabric. Ooh, wishbone. Again, not the one I'm thinking of. But Wishbone was good. This is just reminding me of all the kids' cartoons. Like, again, as far as, like, this has been, like, a 15-year thing of me trying to remember what this reading kind of thing that I watched as a kid was. That no one can think exists. So I am also tossing scraps and stuff into this box. Hi, Lady Cricket Bug. So this box is going to be stuffing scraps, where it's all little bits that maybe are not big enough to be something else. I forgot to turn my music back on. Here's some music back. I had a similar issue where I distinctly remember a show segment of a painter in a beret that painted to classical music. That's that couldn't possibly be Art Attack. Sure, he had berets on occasionally. Okay, so that is our two face pieces. And I think that's actually all I want to try and get out of this shirt. I'm not confident on it, so we're not going to throw it totally away. This is going to depend how well we succeed getting things out of the sweater. Can I get... Oh, that is so close. I almost could have gotten the body out of the sleeves. But unfortunately not. So let's start by cutting along the seams. Okay, does that see? Man, I miss Art Attack. Art Attack was a great kids show. The danger of talking about kids shows is I just want to sit there and go and watch all of them. Oh, do we have to sick the Crafty Cub on it? So this one I'm cutting a lot more carefully because there's a lot more pieces I want to try and get out of this sweater. I spend more time cutting this one a little more accurately to just cut out the seams. So the one I'm thinking of would have aired probably in Ontario Kids TV. Thank you very much for the follow, Create with Candace. It would have been, the one I'm thinking of is live action. Ontario in like the early early 90s. And it was a village that like acted out storybooks. It had a really big musical entry song. Hmm. Trying to like that's legitimately all I can remember about it. So like it really doesn't help because I can provide no actual hints about it. And the only way I'm going to probably recognize it is by hearing the theme song because that's where my head's at. I couldn't even sing the theme song, but like I would know it as soon as I saw it. Yeah. It was like one of those like early reading, like late preschooler type themed shows. I don't know if it was truly from Ontario, but that's kind of where I would have watched it. It could have been from somewhere else. Are there Canadians? Have you heard of Steve from Toronto recently? Oh, Steve. Oh, Steve. Supreme, we are talking about there being a kids' TV show I remember extremely vaguely, and because I remember it extremely vaguely, uh, we can't figure out what it is. I I've never heard of Iris the Happy Professor. I know it's not the Magic Library. Ooh, Friendly Giant. That was a good one. Degrassi. No, this is it's like early preschool, like late preschool, learning to read esque. Like it really is very similar to Reading Rainbow, but it isn't Reading Rainbow. We are going to be making, you can see him up in the top corner there, a little tiny long dog, or, dashend, out of two pieces of my son's recycled clothing. And so this whole kids' TV show thing starts with that we are making something out of kids' clothing, and a long dog. Uh, Read all about it. That strikes something. But yeah, so my son is obsessed with Bluey, and in the Bluey episodes, they hide a long dog somewhere in the episode for you to try and find. Oh yeah, those draft door stoppers that look like a cat lying down in front of the door. Those are great. Want to strangle that mouse. I mean, I'm loving, even if they have nothing to do with the mysterious kids story that I know about, sharing kids' TV shows is one of my favorite things. There are so many hilarious ones, especially when you start talking about like 80s and 90s. I watched a documentary not long ago talking about Mr. Rogers, and it also talked about Mr. Dress Up in it. That was great. I didn't know how interconnected they were. Okay, we've got our flat bits of fabric. So first things first, the big one is we need to get the body. So the body has to be cut on the fold. So let's grab a couple clips. Also, hi Yarny Pixie, I saw you pop in. Hi Rach. Hi Skylerna, thank you very much for raiding in and joining us. Welcome in. Welcome, welcome raiders. If you haven't met me, I am Quilted Hearts. I am a variety crafter, though I do a lot of cross stitch and a lot of sewing. I specialize in making kids' toys. Today, as part of the Crafty Collective Raid Train, we are doing a Reduce Reuse Raid Train experience. So I am taking some old shirts from my toddler and we are making them into a long dog. So taking some shirts that would have just gone to the thrift store or garbage or something, and we're going to make them into a new little toy. How was your stream? What were you up to? Hi Goddess, how are you? I remember looking up. Ooh, some Octobuddies. Fun. If you need to raid and run, feel free. I know we end a stream because we need to. But if you want to hang around, we would love to have you as well. Join in. That name sounds familiar. Pause. Pause. Bear with me 1 second. That name sounded way too familiar. No, not join in. One day I'm going to find this show that I think of, and I will literally jump from the rooftops. Everyone will know that I have found the show. Yeah, Cameron, that show that you are talking about is super weird. I looked into it after you talked about it, and yeah, that's a weird show. Alright, so that is the main body. So now we have... Ooh, ears. I knew there was another reason I needed this other fabric. We need to do a couple ears. How's this spot? Not too bad. I'm going to do the inside of the ears this color, outside of the ears the other color. So let's pin it. Do you think we even make it to sewing? I thought about pre-cutting all these pieces, but then you wouldn't have seen what they were going to be made out of. Thankfully, the sewing process, I think, will actually go quite fast. Okay. So we've got feet, the nose, the head, and the tail. Let me grab that scrap back so I can get a couple of pieces out of the scrap. Perfect. Tail will fit right there. Rita Moreno and Morgan Freeman? Those are names I didn't expect to hear in relation to a kids show. It's funny, actually, most of my son's favorite shows right now are not Canadian. They're either British or Australian. Alright. Little tiny nose. I'm gonna have to look up this show. Oh, The Littlest Hobo? It's the show I'm thinking of in terms of format, very similar to Reading Rainbow. They, if I'm remembering right, which, you know, we're talking 30 something years ago? I think it was more like they acted out the books. They read them and acted them out. This, I don't expect anyone to actually find it because my horrid memory. Okay, let's get the other ears. There's a slit there. I think we'll just scrap that. Let's do the ears here. Read all about it. Just got you a link of a list of all shows. Oh, geez. Read all about it. No, Read All About It is too old of a show. Nice try, though. Oh, you sent me a Wikipedia list of all 90s kids shows? Awesome. I'll have to look at it later. I can't look at it right now on stream. But I'm down. Like it yeah, the era we were looking at was early 90s. Like it could have been very late 80s, but I'm pretty sure it was more early 90s. Big Comfy Couch. I love that show. That show is great. My toddler did not understand it because I tried to show it to him. And he was like, "What is this you're showing me? It makes no sense." Thank you, Miss Create, for the follow. Okay, we're almost done cutting everything out. We have 4 legs to do. And then we have the nose, the main or the middle of the face. Thank you very much for the check-in, Miss Creates. Zaboomafoo. Zaboomafoo is super cute. Okay, so the funny thing is, like, now I live in Nova Scotia, and a lot of my friends have grown and raised in Nova Scotia, and I try to tell them some of these TV shows, especially the ones that were popular in Ontario, and they look at me like I have 6 heads. Because, yes, some of the shows did not come here. Look and read. um, that show looks interesting. It's not the show, but looks interesting. Oh, talking Christmas tree, eh, Thunder? Let's not talk about the talking Christmas tree. He's horrifying. That thing will give you nightmares. I have yet to take my toddler to that mall to see that tree because that thing will give you nightmares. And I don't want to try and explain that to my toddler. Cub thinks he's cute? Which generation? The new one or the old one? So again, Cub, you have to clarify the newer one or the older one. Because there's the older Woody, and then there's the newer Woody that they just brought back a few years ago. They are not the same tree. Was it a recent looking video, or was it like a 10-plus-year-old video? Okay. He's less horrifying now. I'll give you that. He's less horrifying now than he used to be. But yeah, Woody is a special character. He's actually a character in the writing crawls from the writing servers. I mean, this is one of the mods that's in Halifax. Awesome. True. You do seem to hang out with some of us Canadians. And Canadians do collect some weird things. Like the other thing. um, I don't know if this is going to help anything with the jokes of Steve from Toronto, but I do know a Steve in Toronto. Like, legitimately do. Which is really funny to me with how much this has been going on. I know several Steves, but it's the fact that I actually know a Steve who lives in Toronto. Yes, it was English, yeah. Okay, we are getting there. I love that you guys are still trying to figure out this show. I have no idea. I will go through that list later and look at all of them and see if I can't come up with it. But I just... No, I'm not gonna cut that dirt. The dirt is not meant to be cut. Yeah, to give you guys an even more specific year range, I was born in '86, and this would have been something I would have watched as a preschooler. That's why I'm saying like like early '90s, very early '90s. It's funny. My husband also had a kind of a cartoon thing for the longest time that he also couldn't remember. We found his, unfortunately. We didn't find mine. His was Dino Riders. That was also a kid show for the longest time. He thought he made up. Nice. You end up buying it. That's awesome. Those are always fun stories. Okay, we have everything finally cut out. Dino Riders. Okay, we are going to start with the ears. Yeah, we get to start playing with a sewing machine. Oh, come here, sewing machine. What did I just do? There we go. Don't say dinos. You want the most lazy way to sew these together? Right through the interfacing, or right through the batting. Thank you for the check-in, Scuba Lou. Enjoy your lurk. All right. So that one, this one. And go. Whoa. Put the presser foot down. So we're putting just a little bit of batting in between the two layers of the ears to give them a little fluff. Oh, missed a spot. All right. Scuba came in. And then we had another alert. We got ads coming up. Nope, we still haven't figured out the game. Or the show. Oh, we've got all our pieces cut and we're starting to sew. It's funny, I joke whenever I talk about sewing that sewing is 90% cutting and ironing and 5% actual sewing. We are trying to research a kids show that everyone is in my life is convinced I've made up and that doesn't actually exist. Did I? I just screwed up the ears. If I turn these inside out, the fluff is going to be on the outside. My favorite part of sewing. My favorite part of sewing. Seam rippy time. In seam ripping in fluff with a white thread. Love it. Like, quite honestly, it's going to be quicker to just cut out a new set. Let's just cut out a new set. It'll be quicker. Less infuriating. And actually, can we get the Roots logo? Can we get the Roots logo? I think we can. Crafting doesn't happen in craft streams. It does when you aren't a certain few people. I am routinely quite productive, thank you very much. But that's also because I'm not looking up every show people suggest. Okay, we're very quickly just going to cut out another set of ears and try not to make the same mistake. I remember it being people. I don't remember there being puppets, although there could be puppets. It is not cartoon. Like, the funny part is, if I find it and all my answers are wrong because I'm remembering it wrong, like, quite literally, I am remembering a big opening theme song number. Thank you very much for the check-in, Reese. Excuse me. Okay, I have the list from Cub up. And all this is going to do is send me down a spiral of memories. You just opened up your list, Cub. We are still in the search, but I also haven't looked at that list you sent me at all until just now. I just opened up the list. Oh, excuse me. Oh my god, Are You Afraid of the Dark? I wish it was that show. I loved that show. Babar! Also not Babar. Are You Afraid of the Dark? Oh, I kind of hijacked it by bringing it up. I hijacked my own thing. Like, honestly though, if scrolling through this list nothing jumps out at me, I'm gonna put a pause. uh... I'm just thinking of a name. Ooh, sorry, not the show I'm thinking of, but the hit list. The hit list was a old YTV, which is a Canadian kids television network station, that was like a countdown show. That show introduced me to all of the 90s pop that I had ever known. That was, Backstreet Boys, all that stuff. Still trying to rescue the ears that I screwed up. Because, the first thing we pull the sewing machine out to. We're gonna have to use different fluff. We have fluff scraps. Using the thinner fluff. Ooh, Shining Time Station. That is a good one too. I wish that was the one. Like, see, all of these I wish were the right answer, because they were all great shows. Wow, this is quite a piece of fluff. Goosebumps, hit list, 6th grade alien. I might have to go through some of these and quite literally look them all up to figure out Oh my god, Polka Dot Shorts. It's not the one again, but that's also a hilarious show. Yeah. Well, like I said, because of the fact that what I'm remembering more vividly than anything else is a theme song, it's like I need to hear the song. If I hear the song, that will be it. Like some of them that I've looked up so far, like just the pictures of it, I'm like, no, I've never seen this in my life. This is the song that never ends. Yes, it goes on and on, my friends. Some people started singing it, not knowing what it was. I'll keep on saying it forever just because this is the song that never ends. Yes, it goes on and on, my friends. It's Cub's fault. It's always Cubby's fault. And Raid Train ends. Everyone disappears. Okay. We need to not screw this up again. So if I sew it like that, turns inside out with those two pieces. We got it. None of the names of those shows sound familiar whatsoever. Like I said, I'm sure I've made up the show. Well, I sure as heck wasn't paying you, Cub. Well, that's it. It could be a late 80s type show. Could be. But I don't know for sure. Alright. Turn this ear inside out. Cub, if I ever figure it out, you will be the one of the first to know. Okay, we have one little ear. Let's. So this. These two together. Then this on top. Remember the order of things. Don't get distracted by all the crazy people. I need like 8 cameras so I can show you guys the sewing machine. Alright, let's flip another ear out. Doctor snuggles in his airship. I don't know what that is, but it sounds adorable. Whoops. I guess I didn't sew that well enough. Flip that back inside out. Where was that hole? There. I swear, guys, I sew a lot. I just apparently can't sew when I'm tired. Lamb chops was great. Do I need to sing this lamb chop song again? Was it still stuck in your head, Miko? You're welcome. Kratz Creatures is a good show. That feels late. Did they do Kratz before or after Zaboomafoo? They still have a show on today. It's called like Kratz Brothers or something that's animated this time? Like, Zaboomafoo is the one I remember. But I know they have a newer one that's animated rather than puppetry. Okay. So we've got those done. Let's figure out how to make the head. Because I'll be honest, I don't remember. We've got ear and ear. Do we want it pointing forward or pointing back? Hello Kitty's Furry Tale Theater. That is fabulous. Pointing forward seems to make more sense to me. Here's my pattern piece. There. So this is the ear. We're matching up these little notches with the ear in between. And it's all going to try to just ease together. Ease the rest of the face all together here. Grammy, etc. Thank you very much for the follow. I'm going to give it just a little extra strength over this ear joint so that it is stronger. Okay, so we're getting the start of a head. Now let's put the other ear in. He's gonna be a lot bigger than I expected him to be. Or at least he's gonna have quite a big head. These little clips are like my favorite thing to have become a popular thing in sewing. Unfortunately, Cub, it is not the elephant show. I am very familiar with Sharon Lois and Bram. My son's favorite book is actually the book version of Skinnamarink-a-Dink-Dink. It is absolutely a beautiful book. Alright, so that is the head. We need to put the nose on. And there's this dart. I should probably do this dart before I get too far in and forget to do it completely.
Oh, okay.
If you've not seen the Skinamarink book, the artwork and like the watercolor art style that they used on it is gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. Speaking of that, I need to talk to Classy later. Side note. There. Now his head has this little tiny dart in it. And so puckers a little more downward. Nose. Let's find the nose. So how does the nose attach? So nose attaches these 2 points here and here. Gotta make a little nose. Otherwise, how do you boop the nose? Welcome back, Stitchcraft. This is gonna be slightly finicky to sew. Tiny things. Trying to sew tiny things to tiny things. There. So that'll be the nose. Probably could have found a black to do the nose in, but that's all good. We're getting there. We've got most of a head. Fred Penner's Place. I'm loving all of the shows, and it's really funny to me because, as far as I can tell, none of them are right. Okay. Head, nose, nose. Done. It's funny, the pattern that I'm using here, theoretically has instructions, but I don't have the instructions. So I'm just winging it with like sewing knowledge. When should I sew him closed on the bottom? I think it's gonna be later. Much later. Did you see Putnam's Prairie Emporium? I did not. Have a wonderful night, Vixen. See you later. Okay. Putnam's Prairie. Let's do a quick Google. No. Not Putnam's. Okay. Where am I going next? What do we got here? So this is the body. Network of fabrics go that way. Legs are going to go down there. Under the umbrella tree. Oh, like, yeah, I'm sorry, Supreme. This has stumped me for years, so like I said, I very well could have made this entire thing up. And we're just going off like childhood memory. Those puppets are really cute. I don't think I've ever seen them before. Like, it has been a valiant effort trying to figure it out. And like, I'm excited that we now have a giant list of kids shows for me to go through and review them and maybe re-find some old favorites. Whether it is the show we were looking for or not. Okay, let's just very quickly sew up these little feet. Just wanted to keep everybody busy. See, now these are the type of distraction skills someone needs to teach Glenn. He's constantly trying to distract people and failing. Thanks, Rosie. They should be good. So since we haven't been able to find the mystery show that may not exist, what was your favorite show as a kid? Did you have one particular one that was your go-to? Like, I think the one that I consistently, at least at the older age that I remember, that consistently made a point to watch every week would have been Art Attack. Like, that was one that I was upset if I missed. Fairly Odd Parents, nice. Cyber something, and there was math. Ooh. You know what other show I really liked as a kid that we've left to the part of educational shows? Reboot. Now, that's a fun Canadian one. Cyber Chase. Nice.
Oh, wait.
Star Blazers. Oh, sorry, Miko. Family can be hard. Okay, let's shove. Add. I have no idea. Okay. We're gonna shove some odds and ends in these feet to stuff them a bit. Those are the feet done. Little. Little. We need a little. It washes me the heck out. Let's reduce it, maybe. There we go. Turned on my overhead a little light. Washes me out a bit, but makes it a lot easier to see. We lost Crafty Cam. Oh, there we go. Positively Crafty, thank you very much. Okay, we've got some little stuffed feet. We got a head and some feet. We're getting there. We might actually, at least... Oh, night, Lady Cricket Bug. We want to give the tail a little stuffing, a little oomph. Let's give the tail a little oomph. Rather than actually stuffing it, we're just going to give it the little oomph of a little layer of batting. The one thing I'm actually not going to be for sure doing today is doing the final sewing of it up closed completely. Because I do have the box of random bits to stuff with it, but I'm going to chop those up to be fairly fine. And then if he's not completely as stuffed as I'd like him to be, I'm just going to leave him beside my sewing station and add to him as I trim stuff off. Until he's full. Mm-hmm. Do-do. Turning this inside out is going to be fun. So tiny. So teeny tiny. And by adding the stuffing, I made it really bulky. So Harriet's Mezzo has early them have a song which is very low budget, but it got a bit better. Okay. I will look that one up after Supreme. I'm feeling excited that I'm almost getting done this thing, so I'm gonna pause looking up the shows. But I will go back through and look up all the shows we've been talking about and see if I can't find it afterwards. That'll be my homework while watching watching more of the train tomorrow. Okay, so the tail's done. So now we just really need to figure out how it all comes together. So one foot goes here. We know that. No, another foot goes down here. There are hats in the attic and something but the character would chat and something they put a hat on. That sounds very fun. Whether that is, I don't think that's the show I'm thinking of, but it does sound like an awesome kids show. Okay, so that. Also, I need to call something out. Look at the little bum. Little tiny bum bum. Sorry. So the tail gets sewn here. This is. First, I need to make sure these are right sides together. I am glad we are having a lot of fun researching the shows. Even if we don't find the one I'm thinking of, everyone going down memory lane is just really fun. Thank you very much for the check-in, Dub D. Okay. This is the stomach. So why does the tail appear at the bottom of... Oh, it wraps around. I was thinking, I'm like, why does the tail appear at the bottom of the stomach? This is a problem. But I see now. It's going to wrap around and kind of pop up. I was a little concerned. Yeah, see, that's why I was having a major malfunction there for a second of trying to figure out what's going on. Okay, so let's just get these parts all pinned together. Okay, so that wraps up like this. It wraps around there. Okay. Okay, we can do this. This is making sense.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a fun challenge when you don't actually have the instructions and just the template pieces. You can do it, Miko. I mean, the best part about a Zoom meeting of some kind is that if you really need to get out, you can just disconnect and then say, oops, something happened to the internet. Thank you very much for the check-in, Disaster Crafter. Welcome in. Right, so we have one side on. Yeah. So the side's going to be just a tad more finicky. I'd really like to be stitching it the other direction. That's not going to happen. Okay, and crew, I know that is a typo, but now all I can think about is family zoo meetings. And I love the idea of meeting at a zoo and just throwing like the family to the elephants or the monkeys or whatever. Oh, it's not a typo. I definitely thought it was a typo. Ooh, yes, Cup. Zoom meeting with dressed up as zoo animals. I also support this concept. That is something one part of my family would definitely do. I'd suggest that and they'd just be like, yeah, sure. No problem. Gladly. Okay. So I think the best plan now is that I'm going to attach the head to the front here, which will make just one long flat dog. And then we will sew most of the bottom together from nose to tail, leaving a hole in the middle. Okay. So, dirt meets big spot. This line meets seam allowance. I was originally scared with how long it was taking me to cut all the pieces that we wouldn't get this guy done in time. But we are like 3 seams away. Yes, there are ads in my music because I have not paid for Spotify. I apologize. Oh, sorry. Like, what window is playing ads? I say probably every stream that I'll eventually get around to paying for Spotify so that I can stop getting the ads. But then I never actually do. Now, the thing I haven't been doing through all of this that I probably should have, haven't, is iron anything. Okay, we have a very flat shell of a longdog. See, that's one of the reasons I actually haven't done it yet, is because my husband left our Google family to get some stuff from his friend, and there is a time limit on how often you can switch Google families. We want tail. If I want tail pointing forwards, I put it like this. When it flips out, it points up. Yes. And so I've been waiting for him to be able to reset back, and then we'll probably just pay for like YouTube music. So I don't want to pay for both Spotify and YouTube music or whatever. So I've kind of been waiting for him to switch back over, and that still hasn't happened yet, and I don't actually know when it's going to happen. And so then I just keep forgetting, and then whatever. So ads. But honestly, I kind of have to tune them out half the time, so I don't even notice. Until one strikes me as funny or something. Alright, gotta like tuck everything inside. Tuck all the feet in. Alright, so we're gonna leave the belly part in the middle open. I'm really excited that for my very first raid train with TCC, my first raid train period, we're gonna have a little mascot friend to keep. I think that's going to be very fun. Alright, now the fun part. Flip. Boop. Flip. I'm not even going to trim most of those ends off because they're all just going to hide inside. There we go. We have a puppy. So all that's left now to do is stuff them. I'm excited because this has worked out really well. I didn't expect timing to work out so well. Because I got him done with just a little bit of time to spare. We'll also have to go back in and embroider some eyes on them. He's turned out way cuter than I expected him to. I love the little camo dog. Let's put our fail ear in. We're just gonna... Some of these bigger, chunkier things I'm gonna just cut into smithereens. Just so he doesn't get a weird, like, chunky, hefty spot. Yeah, he turned out he went a lot quicker than I expected him to. I love it. It's my favorite part about sewing. Considering one of my other main crafts is one of the slower crafts under the sun, cross-stitching, having something which produces quick things is lovely. Can't see him that well from the top because he's camo. It's funny, I actually had to dig for the camo shirt to find something. I had the right after Supreme had announced kind of what the theme was going to be. I decided this shirt was a little too short for my little guy, and then with the stain on the front too, I was like, well, wasn't worth saving. It's like I save a lot of the clothes that are like don't fit him anymore, but could possibly be used either to pass on to friends or something like that. But since it also was stained, it wasn't worth saving to pass on to someone else. So I had the little Roots shirt. Then I started digging through the rest of the closet to find something I thought would go well with it. Oh, excuse me. I'm gonna actually save these little pockets for potentially something else. I'm not going to put the pockets in the dog. Then I don't actually want to put the placard in the dog either. That's a little too bulky. I will not be doing any more coffee. It is almost bedtime for me. What would happen if someone used my scissors to cut cardboard? They would be in a lot of trouble. These are my good fabric scissors. They are kept out of reach of the toddler. And my husband knows not to touch a single pair of my scissors. There are rules. When my son gets older and it becomes a problem, the scissors will get even more hidden. Because the option is learn not to touch my scissors, or pay to replace them. It's amazing how quickly a good pair of fabric scissors can go dull if they touch paper. Oof. Yep. Fabric scissors are something very special and important. Do not use fabric scissors for anything else. These are all fairly little. They can go straight in. I'm gonna snooze those ads since we're heading out very shortly. Hey, where'd you go, Droid Cam? You don't want to play anymore? Oh, there it is. Droid Cam just is thinking about taking a nap, apparently. Yeah, when you get permission to touch the forbidden scissors. It's like, what? Really? What? What do you mean I can touch those? Ooh, I think Droid Cam is done with me today. We're getting a stuffed face. A little lumpy. Little lump. It's a test, a trap. Don't do it. No, go away, ads. Just realized me sitting here muting the ads. It's like, it means I'm gonna have to run ads literally as we're trying to raid out. I'm gonna run out of pauses. Oh well. Let's, while we're here, do TTC train? Not TTC, TCC. I can do things. There we go. It has been an absolute pleasure hosting the train here. you guys haven't already checked out the schedule, that links you to the schedule of everyone coming up. And everyone who's already gone, if you've missed any of the stops, definitely go back and watch VODs if there are VODs available. Or check out the other streamers. There's been some great stuff. True. All great stuff. Sorry. Verbiage is important. We have 2 people left tonight. We have, I believe, I'm going into Thunder, I believe. Perfect. Thank you, Supreme. And then I believe Giggy is on later tonight. And then we've got a whole slew of new people tomorrow. And then a few more people. Yeah, that's what I thought. Thunder of Dragons. And then yeah, and then there's Giggy later. And then we have a whole bunch more people tomorrow and a bunch of people on Tuesday, including Supreme, finishing out the event and doing all of our fun stats. I'm really excited for the closing stream to hear all the fun stats, you know, stats nerd. Oh no, you'll be at work. Yeah, definitely watch the VOD for it. Nothing more exciting than stats. Gotta be a number nerd. I bet there's a lot, Supreme. I don't envy you that amount of work. Because after all, you did tell me there would be stats, so now all I care about is there being stats. Ah! Hi, Blue-Eyed Cat. Hello, hello. Welcome in. You are diving in here just in the last few minutes of our stream. We are part of the Crafty Collective Raid Train, and in about 5 minutes or so, we're heading off to our next location. What were you up to today, Blue-Eyed Cat? It closes the tab. Awesome. We just finished making this little cutie. Go away. Thank you very much for doing the shout out for me. For those of you who have not met me coming in with the raid, I am Quilted Hearts. I am a variety crafter. Thank you very much for the follow, Galactic Gardens. But I specialize in making kids' toys. And so today, as part of our Recycle Raid Train, I took an old shirt and sweater from my toddler, and we've turned it into this little stuffed dog. All that's left to do is stuff him up and maybe embroider some cute eyes on him. So we're stuffing him with, ooh, pretty fabric, with other fabric scraps. Ooh, that's a big scrap. Big scrap. Here, let's put them there. Good boy. Well, I chop this up. Oh, hi, ship. Thanks for the follow. Bonjour. Comment ça va? She locked you in a closet. Oh no. The sweet little Doom wouldn't do that. I don't believe you. And you found your way out. Were you let out to go get Supreme more coffee? Thank you, Supreme. We will head there just momentarily once I can free my hands up from cutting stuff. All right, everybody, we are off to go see. Isn't he cute? Let's put this last bundle of stuff in him. We are off to go see Thunder of Dragons as the next stop on our raid train. Please continue on showing the love. We have a TCC raid call / raid. There. Our little long dog says bye. Thank you for hanging out with us. And I hope you guys all continue along on the raid train. Let's go send some love.